I had a sounder, a realization that everyone has their own stories. The strangers who are passing by me right now, the person who is sitting across from me on the train, the subway conductor who is announcing a message from the NYPD, they all have their unique stories. In their stories, however big or small, however exciting or mundane, they are the star. They are the people who see, who feel, who love and hate. They are the narrator, the protagonists, the director and the cameraman, well, if they're lucky. They might have similar stories as I do, but I can never tell their stories because I'll get it wrong and because I've got my own. Hi. Can I tell you a story? I was 4 years old and I was still in China. It was a sunny afternoon and my grandfather had just picked me up from my kindergarten. I was on the back seat of a bike. We're on the widest road of the city. At least that's how I remember it. I've always loved bikes, and I couldn't ride one yet at the time, but I loved the feeling of going forward, and I loved the wind touching my face. I was swinging my legs back and forth, and my left foot got stuck inside the spikes of the bike. I think I cried, I think it was painful, but I can't remember. It turned out that day my grandma had told my grandpa to take the taxi instead, but he insisted on the bike because he didn't want to spend money. All I remember is my grandpa's eyes, filled with guilt and pain. If I could go back in time, I want to tell him that it's okay. Soon I will forget the pain, but I will never forget your love. Can you tell me a story? Hi, can I tell you a story? It was the second week of 8th grade, my 4th week in the United States. I was in science class. The science teacher had just finished arm wrestling a student. I think my teacher won. We started preparing for our next lab. He called my name and asked me, what is 10,000 meters in centimeters? I panicked. I knew that there would be a lot of zeros, but I didn't know how to say it in English. My brain was a mess. I didn't know where to look. I'm pretty sure I looked like a tomato, and I was counting zeros back and forth. And other students raised their hands eagerly. They almost jumped onto the tables. But the teacher looked straight at me, determined. He wanted me to answer the question. He knew I had the answer. 1,000,000 centimeters. I answered his question, and after 10,000 years. He moved on, and I was sitting there wondering why there was still 38 minutes left in a 40-minute class. Can you tell me a story? Hi. Can I tell you a story? It was a rainy evening in the winter. I was holding heavy bags in both of my hands while trying to hide my face into my coat. And suddenly, I heard someone yelling out, "Wait, wait, wait!" I turned my head as much as possible and I saw 2 girls chasing down the bus and knocking on the window. Fortunately, the bus had just started and the driver noticed them and he stopped. I was really annoyed. I blamed them for running on a busy and narrow sidewalk. They could have easily caused injury on themselves and others. 2 crazy girls came out shopping and forgot about time and missed their bus. That's the definition I gave them. They didn't get on the bus when it stopped. One of them turned the other way and ran back to an elderly lady and walked with her slowly, while the other told the driver to wait and thanked him immediately. I almost cried. I cry easily. Can you tell me a story? I see violence and pain in this world constantly and more frequently. I always ask this one question. What would happen if the inflictor, the perpetrator, or however we want to call them, had a Sonder moments before attacking the people? What if the attackers ceased the attack as individuals with stories instead of targets? Would this change anything? Maybe, just maybe, they will have compassion. I was told that I was too naive by thinking this. Or maybe, as McLuhan said, in an electric information environment, our new environment compels commitment and participation. We have become irrevocably involved with and responsible for each other. I don't know. So I saw these people on the train today and had the realization that each random passerby is living a life as vivid and as complex and as ordinary as real as my own, populated with their own ambitions, friends, routines, worries, and inherited craziness. They have an epic story that continues without me. And in my mind, I told them my stories that first came to me when I saw them. And I want to hear their stories. Hi. Can you tell me a story?